We're joined this morning by Martyn, the CMO of Cisco Jasper. Welcome, Martyn. How are you this morning?
Hey, good morning, Bill. I'm very well, thank you. Good to be here.
Great. Yes, we wanted to get Martyn's unique perspective on the Internet of Things and talk about some of the challenges and things that they've gone through at Cisco Jasper. Tell me a little bit about your role, Martyn, and how that has intersected with the Internet of Things and some of the experiences you've had in the last couple of years with Cisco Jasper.
Yeah, so let me just describe Cisco Jasper first of all. I mean, it's actually Jasper standalone company who's really been in what was the precursor to IoT, M2M, and it's been around for 10 years. So it's not new. It's certainly very overhyped right now. But back in February 2016, we were acquired by Cisco, hence the name Cisco Jasper. So where we're placed within the IoT market is right in the center. So if you think about the Internet of Things, is really typically people think of it as three building blocks. You have a thing, you have a network. In our case, it's a cellular network. We work with the network operators. And then you have applications to do stuff with the information you're getting from the things over the network. Now, where we fit in is in the middle of that. So if you think about all of these different things out there, connected devices, you have to somehow have something to manage those devices. So that's really our sweet spot. We are really well positioned as being the automated connectivity management platform. And what does that really mean in plain simple terms? It means that we can control all of those millions of things out there. We can help provision them. We can make sure that they're secure. We can make sure that they're on certain billing plans. We can assign business rules to make sure you don't have cranked up thousands of dollars roaming on different devices. And then also what it gives us is the ability then to use that on our platform, provide APIs to the likes of IBM and Amazon and Salesforce and all those other great app providers, and they take that content, that data, and then are able to do stuff with that to help you get insights into this platform. So that's really been the play for Cisco Jasper, certainly over the last probably 3 to 4 years. As we say, Cisco became very interested in us as having a very strong brand within IoT, but really not having a lot of gravitas in terms of offerings. So we've very much plugged into that, and now Cisco are building their IoT strategy in and around the Cisco Jasper platform.
Okay, great, super. And what do you see for the marketplace for 2017? Obviously, we read all the analyst reports and those types of things. What are you seeing from your perspective, and what unique opportunities and challenges do you think you'll have out there in 2017?
Yeah, I think you'll start to see us use the notions of real IoT, and I think that you read any analyst report and all of the big analyst reports, the boutique analysts, you hear about the insert your favorite number, N billion, 20 billion by, insert your favorite date. But reality is, people are leveraging IoT and have been for many, many years. We have, on our platform, we have over 40 million connected devices. We have over 10,000 enterprises, and we're adding almost over a million and a half devices every single month. So we have 10,000 enterprises running IoT projects of all shapes and sizes, from the biggest car OEMs, some of the 20 of the largest car OEMs running all of their connected cars on our platform, to vending machines who are trying to monetize and stop truck rolls to go out and maintain these things, and everything in between. So the part for us is, how do we change the conversation from IoT in the future tense to real IoT, which is all about today, and then also less about the how to connect things to the what. And what I mean by that is, the vision of IoT is simply to deliver clear business outcomes tied to your company strategy. And it's to help you do one of really three things. is either to help you. What we're seeing is the first instances with IoT implementations typically fall around how does IoT help me save money, improve my operations? Secondly, it then starts to think about, okay, now I can do that. What other revenue streams can I open up? And unfortunately, the third one, we'd hope to see it as the first, but really I think this is crawl, walk, run, is improved customer experience. And that's how we're seeing people think about IoT. And as we say, our job at Cisco Jasper is to provide a wealth of use case studies. And you look on our website, we've got an abundance of references of how customers have actually implemented IoT today.
Great. Super. What challenges have you seen from your unique perspective in terms of our organizations facing today in trying to implement IoT?
I think they think more about what is their IoT strategy versus really the essence is to really what is your company strategy and how can IoT enable you to get more proficient and better at implementing your company strategy. And I think that's really the essence of what we're seeing. All of our voice of the customer and primary research points to that. People are concerned that there's lack of expertise. People are concerned that there's a lack of know-how in IoT. But I firmly believe if you've got a strong IT group, you've got strong business leaders, you can really think about how do we look at our business strategy and use or leverage IoT to support one or more of our strategic objectives. And let me give an example of how we see people doing that. And we've understood that people get fearful about any degree of IT project. And typically we all know that it costs billions of dollars to implement, millions of dollars to implement big data or any of the favorite IT projects du jour right now. Now with IoT, you can actually think big. What we say, think big, start small, scale fast. And what I mean by that is working with companies like AT&T and many of our network operators around the world, we offer IoT starter kits. And why they are so important is you don't have to spend millions of dollars. In fact, these kits are around about $100. And what this allows you to do is really have a hypothesis about what outcomes you're trying to drive IoT for your strategic objectives within the business. And from there, you can use IoT starter kits to really get that hypothesis, validate it, and start to look at ways to actually, how do I interpret some of the data from those thousands of things out there? And then what do I do in order to actually improve my operating expenses? And also, does it open up potential new revenue streams for us? And then also, how do I improve my customer experience? And you can do so. We've seen many of our customers take these IoT starter kits with a big idea, test it, validate it. So think big, and then start small with that testing that hypothesis, and then really start to scale fast and move towards the more commercial-oriented platforms. So I think that people are a little hesitant. My encouragement, and I think Cisco Jasper's encouragement, is to get your feet wet. And you can do so in a very, very cost-effective manner, as opposed to many of the other projects out there.
Yeah, very, very, very sound advice. Are there a couple of things that you've learned over the last couple of years, or in terms of best practices? You alluded to that a little bit in terms of maybe, what you just said, but are there a couple of other things you've learned that organizations can take from to try to get their implementation going, get it off the ground, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think there's things that we've done actually at Cisco Jasper. We've had our internal. We're all familiar with Shark Tank on TV. We've opened up to our own internal employees. How do we extend our offerings via IoT into the marketplace? And I would offer anyone listening to this podcast in any given organization around the world, regardless of your size, is I would work with someone like a Cisco Jasper and get, say, a half a dozen of these IoT starter kits, run an internal maybe internal competition, Shark Tank, IoT Shark Tank within your company, to say, how do we think about our strategic objectives? This is some of the technology we think we can actually get a better return on those objectives. Put your best and brightest on there and encourage that crowd think within the companies, because more often than not, the answer's within your own companies. Your customers will tell you what they need, but then also you've got pretty smart people within companies that are on the untapped people that perhaps that haven't been involved in IoT because they don't have that IoT nomenclature against their name. But in essence, stop thinking about the things and really start thinking about how does it leverage our strategic objectives.
Great. On the people side, what challenges do you see, or what, even from your own unique perspective, in terms of trying to find some of the right people? And I guess, is the talent there? Do you have to build the talent? Or what's your perspective on the whole, kind of talent gap that people are telling us right now?
Well, this is where you come in, Bill. This is where we need the likes of you to help us, because what we're seeing right now is what I call IoT washing on resumes. And that's anyone who's been connected with communications, anyone's been connected with any degree of router, network switch, internet, are all now IoT experts. So it's like people like you, Bill, that we rely upon to help us really get through all of the IoT washing and get down to, okay, how much real experience have you got in IoT or M2M? Can you articulate some of the projects you've worked on? What are some of the outcomes that you've driven within the world of M2M or IoT? And it's really that experiential. We're looking for people with real experience. So we talk about real IoT. We want real IoT experience. And quite frankly, I get to read hundreds of resumes, and it's very time consuming. And the key is sifting through all of that IoT washing. And again, that's when people like you come through to help our organization spend time on what we're good at, which is producing the best IoT platform out there, and then working with the likes of you, Bill, is to help us go and identify who the best people are out there. They're out there, but you've got to sift through a lot of resumes to get to the real experience.
Sure. What percentage of those resumes do you think have real IoT experience, Martyn, based on your background?
You put me on the spot here, and I will, and again, stream of content, I would probably say 10% worst, 20% at best with real IoT experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's unusual, and we see that a lot in our business also. Basically, there's people who are trying to do that, and there's smart cities people that have been in it for 6 months, that kind of thing, that masquerading as a smart city expert, those types of things.
Oh, exactly, and then again, that's you get found out, but it takes an awful lot of time to sift through that.
Yeah. Well, in closing, Martyn, what could we resources could we provide, or what would you suggest if people want to find out more about Cisco Jasper and the types of things they're doing, and more specifically, I think you have a wonderful idea about the IoT starter kits, about people that can start small, that kind of thing. So what advice would you give people if they'd like to find out more information about Cisco Jasper and their offerings?
Yeah, I think two things. One, obviously visit ciscojasper.com. We have got some really bite-sized 2-minute videos of what our product does and what it does for companies. We've also got extensive use cases and case studies with real tangible business results. And I think the one thing that IoT people struggle with is justifying the projects. And we've got a lot of companies out there, brand names that everyone will recognize, peppered throughout our website. So go there. Also type in IoT starter kits, and you'll see our partners, particularly AT&T in North America, as one of the leaders out there for starter kits. Go download one. Go buy one, $100, and give it to your best creative people within the company to come up with great ideas of how to leverage IoT to support your business outcomes. And people are doing it. It's all about real IoT now, not about IoT in the future tense.
Absolutely. I especially like your idea of creating your own Shark Tank within your organization, Martyn. That's a pretty unique idea. You might want to see if you can take that to the masses. That's a very interesting and thought-provoking idea, don't you think? So
well, it goes back to the normal concept of inclusion, and I think some of the best ideas come from not only your best customers but also your best employees, and really tapping into that marketplace, that group of smarts that know things better than the leadership team of many of these companies.
Great, super. We wanted to thank you again for your time today, and appreciate your time very much.
Bill, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.